Hi everyone, you're welcome back again to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can make this beautiful dress with two different fabrics. So if this is something you're interested in learning, please hit the subscribe button and let's get started. All you need is just 1 inch of each fabric, but I have 1.5 inches for the red fabric and 1 inches for the blue fabric. So you also need your scissors, tape rule and your chalk. So guys, I started by marking out 1 inches from the side of the fabric. This 1 inches is for the casing, is for the rope casing. So all you just need to do is to mark out 1 inches allowance for the casing. That is where the rope is going to be inserted into. So I marked it all the way down and connected it. So I started taking my measurement from this line and I went in by 3.5 inches for my neckline. I came down by 2 inches. This is the back line that we're going to be using first before putting the front line. So this neckline is for the back dress. So from the neckline, you're going to measure out about 12 inches. I actually took 10 inches for my sleeve, then 2 inches for my allowance, for folding allowance. So I came down by 10 inches. So I marked a straight line to guide me on where to place my bust measurement, and I also marked my waistline 17 inches. So I connected the line to my armhole. I connected the line to form an armhole here. So the biggest circumference on your body is what you're going to be making use of. As for me, is my hip. So I divided my hip by 4 inches and I marked it and added 3 inches allowance to it. So whatsoever I got on my hip, dividing it by 4, I remove 1 inches from it and mark. Then added my 3 inches sewing allowance. So from this point, I'm going to be marking the same measurement on my bust all the way down. My hip divided by 4 inches plus 3 inches sewing allowance. But before then, I want to mark out the length of the dress. And for the length of the dress, I'm going to be marking out 38 inches for the length and then 1 inches folding allowance. So I inserted the same measurement, hip divided by 4 plus 3 inches allowance. So connect it all. I came down by half inches for my shoulder slope. Connect it to meet my neckline. So I went ahead to cut on the line, removing half inches for my neck slope. So I opened the allowance for each of the fabric. So I came down by 8 inches for the front neckline after separating it from the back. So fold in your 1 inches allowance inside before cutting. So I connected the line to meet my neckline. Eight inches. Cut out the neckline. I'll go over to the sewing machine and stitch it, and this is what it came out. And this is what you're going to get. So don't cut it out. This is the outcome. You can eliminate some parts. I'll also stitch it down with an 1/2 inch, but before then I've already stitched, or I have folded in the length of my gown. So I'll just go over and use an 1/2 inch to fold it down, and I already done that. I came back to put in this measurement to know where my pocket is going to be placed at. So my waistline is 17 inches, and that is where my pocket is starting from. So I'm marking it out at 17 inches. Then I'll come in with 2 inches on both sides. Then cut out my pockets. For the length of my pocket, I have 9 inches for the length. You can make yours 8 inches. And I have, so for the length of the ruffle, I have 75 inches. And for the wideness, is just 2 inches, or 2, you can make yours 4 inches. My fabric was not enough, that is why I'm using 2 inches. So when you're cutting yours, I think you should cut it with 2.5, 3 inches or 4 inches, depending on the wideness of your choice. So I'll go over to the sewing machine and print it. Okay, this is what it's looking like after I'm done printing on it. Remember to use different colors for the different materials. If you are using different color like I'm using, make sure to exchange the pocket colors on the different materials too, to beautify it and bring out the colors. So I've also gone ahead to stitch on my rope. So for this rope is the rope I'm going to be inserting into the casing that we sewed earlier to be able to gather it, or to make it gather. So for the length of the rope, what I have here is 38 inches. Yes, 38 inches. So you can make yours 38 inches also if you are using the length of my gown. So what is this? 38 inches, and it will be enough. So I went ahead to insert it into those holes that we folded earlier on. So I'll go over to the sewing machine and use my bias to run the neck. I'll also do the same thing for my back neck. I'll use the bias to turn the neck of the front, and also use the bias to turn the neck for the back. So this is what it came out after I'm done turning the neck. I also went ahead to stitch my shoulder, and this is what it's looking like. So I've also gone ahead to fold my sleeve. I went ahead to fold my sleeve with just 1 inch, and so I'll go over to the sewing machine now and stitch it down with 1 inch. And this is what my gown is looking like. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. This is the outcome of the gown. Please, if you love this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up.